Growing up in the Philippines, I would help my mom cook Filipino food. Later on, when I became vegan, I learned that Filipino food can still be vegan without losing its soul. I wanted to share this discovery with family, friends, and with you.
It's that.
Kain na! Let's eat! The name may sound funny, putobumbong, but it's the classic Filipino delicacy during the holiday season. It's usually sold outside churches after midnight mass, but over the years, Filipino households have figured out a way to serve it at their holiday table. Putobumbong are rolled and steamed sweet black rice served with grated coconut and muscovado sugar. It's sweet, chewy, and has a mildly nutty flavor. For the ingredients, we'll need 1 cup of sweet black rice. In Tagalog, we call this pirurutong. I got this at the Asian grocery store, so I was really lucky and I felt happy that I found this. But if you are not having any luck in your neighborhood, you may also order them online. I have a reputable company that I always order from, and that's Eighth Wonder. They do wonderful stuff over there in the Philippines with the farmers. But if you want more common ingredients, then you may use regular black rice. So because it's regular black rice, it won't have that chewy texture that we need. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna use 1/2 cup of this black rice, regular, and 1/2 cup of sticky rice flour for that texture that we need. And that's sticky rice flour, also known as glutinous rice flour. I got both of these two at Rainbow Grocery, San Francisco. You have a wonderful bulk section there. It's 3/4 cup of water, a pinch of salt, and as for the following ingredients, the measurement doesn't have to be precise. It's completely up to you how much you want to use. And that's grated coconut. We do not want young coconuts here. We want the mature ones. It usually says on the package, grated coconut. You can find them at the frozen section of Asian grocery stores, or you can make it fresh from the husk. For sweeteners, muscovado sugar and dark brown sugar. Now, for the muscovado sugar, it imparts that nice, not just sweetness, but caramel taste that is very unique in putobumbong. For the dark brown sugar, make sure it's organic, only because not all dark brown sugar are vegan, unfortunately. It uses animal bone char. The next one is completely optional and up to you if you want to use, but I prefer to use it because it makes it extra special, and that is vegan butter, whether homemade or store-bought. Or you may also use coconut oil, whether refined, if you don't want that strong coconut flavor, or unrefined. As for the equipment, now we're gonna steam it. I am using a bamboo steamer, but you may use any kind of steamer you have at home. I just want to use bamboo steamer because it's going to replace the bamboo tubes that is traditionally used to make putobumbong. High-speed blender. Now, a high-speed blender is so that we can grind and even pulverize the rice down to a powder. But if you don't have any, don't let that stop you as well from making putobumbong. A widely acceptable substitution for black rice is purple yam powder. In fact, that's what my aunties use at home. So you may use that, and they're available at Asian grocery stores. I'm going to show you 2 versions. The first one is the traditional sweet black rice. Let's start with that. So use a high-speed blender. Transfer to a bowl. So you can see here, it's quite fine powder. Use, out of the 3/4 cup of water, just 1/2 of it. And we're gonna use the rest later. And then mix it. We are gonna let it sit overnight. And after that, pour the rest of the water. So I have here something that's already been soaked overnight already. It's time to put the rest of the water. So that was 1/2 cup to soak, and then you add 1/4 cup to let it bind. So just combine it well until it forms a soft clay texture. And then just add a few pinches of salt. Set it aside for 5 minutes so the rice can absorb the liquid even more. While we're waiting for that, I can show you version 2, which is the regular black rice and the glutinous rice flour. Let us grind this first to a powder. Okay, now that we got the regular black rice down to a powder, now let's combine it with the rest of the ingredients. Alright, then mix it with the glutinous rice flour. And water. Okay, there. And I'm gonna add a pinch of salt. And this version here with the regular black rice and glutinous rice flour, you don't have to wait overnight. And if you don't have a high-speed blender where you could grind the rice to a powder, don't be discouraged. You can always use purple yam powder or ube powder in Tagalog so that you can make your putobumbong. It's a widely acceptable substitution. Time to form them into long logs. I'm gonna grab a clean plate, make sure you have clean hands, and let's get to forming. Grab about 2 tablespoons. It doesn't have to be precise, and form them into long, thin cylinders like that. Now it's time to check on the other version, which is the all sweet black rice. Now, if there's extra liquid still that needs to be absorbed, don't worry, you can always just blot it with a paper towel to get the excess water out. Perfect. Set that aside and let's form them into the same shape, the long logs here. So it's still a little wet compared to the other one, but you can form them definitely. If you don't want your hands to be to get a lot of rice, you can put oil in your hands. This is what it looks like once they're all rolled up. Now let's get to steaming. Place it there. And then I have a parchment paper here with just sliced so that there are some holes or spots that the air can escape to. Another parchment paper there. The reason why I put parchment paper so that it won't stick. It will be an easier cleanup. If you're using regular steamer, then you could brush with a little bit of oil to make a non-stick effect. So very gently, as you could see, they're very delicate here. While we're waiting for the putobumbong to steam, I will show you the traditional device that Filipinos use to make putobumbong every holiday season. Here's what it looks like. I got this at the Filipino grocery store, and probably a few years ago, and I checked this year and it's no longer there. So it's very rare. In fact, even in the Philippines, it's quite rare to have this. Now, putobumbong is called putobumbong because puto means steamed rice cake. So this is the steamer, and this is called bumbong. These bamboo tubes are called bumbong, hence putobumbong. But now it's being loosely used, the term's loosely used because other households just use a regular steamer. And what happens is that you put this, you add water inside. So you put water inside here. You put the rice powder, or the rice flour, you put it inside the tubes, and then you put it on top of the stove, put it on high heat until the steam passes through the tubes, and that's when you know that it's done. So that's the traditional way of making putobumbong. It's, like I said, a very rare experience. I like to use it every once in a while with my nephews and nieces because they've never seen it before, so it's quite a treat. There you go. Place in there, and now it's time to brush some vegan butter. You may also use coconut oil if you want, or you could simply skip this step too. You can do that. Then we're gonna roll them to the grated coconuts. So one by one. Now this is best served warm. So as soon as you're done, serve it right away. But if, let's say, you need to reheat it, you can simply re-steam it. If you have a microwave, you can microwave it. So, because it will harden over time once it gets cold, but don't worry, you can just reheat it and it will come back to its original texture. So I'm gonna stop there for now. So I can save a spot for the condiment, and that is the brown sugar and the muscovado sugar. So the traditional is pure muscovado sugar, but if you cannot find any, organic dark brown sugar will do. And I'm gonna put it on the side here. Here, and then take sugar. Okay, I'm gonna have a taste here. So I grab a chunk and then dip it in sugar there. That is something that, see, there's something so special about black rice that makes putobumbong unique. Like I said, you can make purple yam powder too, completely fine, but the black rice is what makes it definitely a delicacy, a unique delicacy. Now this is the traditional serving suggestion, but if your guests are not familiar with putobumbong and they're not sure how to enjoy it, it's quite mandatory for people to enjoy to have sugar, because the black rice is not as sweet as regular white rice. So what I'm gonna do here, if your guests are not too familiar with how to enjoy it, we can sprinkle it on top, which will make it even more festive. That's just my personal touch that I like to share with you. Just sprinkle them in the middle right there. And if you want it even more festive, you can serve the putobumbong on top of banana leaves if you want. But I think this should look special at your holiday party. I'm really excited for you to try this at home. The classic Filipino delicacy during the holiday season. But now that you have the recipe, you can make this anytime you want, any time of year. You don't have to wait for Christmas to enjoy putobumbong. For the full recipe and other vegan Filipino recipes, just go on AstigVegan.com. I'm also on social media and I would love to connect with you there, whether you have questions, suggestions, or if you just want to say hello. Thanks so much for tuning in. My name is RG at AstigVegan, letting you know that Filipino food can be vegan, healthy, and delicious without losing its soul. Kain na, let's eat!